Hey there guys, I'm your host, the Red Pirate, and it is October, which means it's the season of collecting pumpkins. So we're going to be going into the village of Ordon, collecting all of the pumpkins that exist in it, and setting them into one giant pile all together so that we can count them easily and figure out how many pumpkins does Ordon Village have? Does Ordon Village have enough pumpkins to support your hometown? Would it be enough pumpkins for you and your family? I don't know. We're going to go find out right now. By the way, has it ever occurred to anybody how weird it is that we put faces on pumpkins? Does anybody else find that kind of weird? I was really curious about this the other day, so I went on an internet excursion finding out what is the origin of the jack-o'-lantern, and sure enough, it's some ancient folklore named after a guy named Jack. As the story goes, this guy named Stingy Jack is approached by the devil who wants to collect his soul, and the devil says, I'm gonna take your soul, and Jack says, okay, but first, can I go to the bar? Because I like drinking and I'm a drunkard, and Satan says, okay, sure. Naturally, though, when Jack gets there, he doesn't have any money to pay for his drink, so Jack says, oh, it's okay, Satan, you can transform into things, right? And Satan's like, oh, yes, of course, I'm very flattered, yes, what would you like me to transform into? And Jack says, you should transform into a coin. So Jack uses this fake coin to pay for his drink. The devil is kind of impressed by this, and then after they buy the drink, Satan sneaks out while he's still in coin form and is collected by Stingy Jack, who then puts him into his pocket. Stingy Jack takes the devil in a coin form and puts him into his pocket, and inside his pocket he has a crucifix. A crucifix being one of those tiny little crosses with Jesus on it. And when he puts the tiny coin into his pocket, it prevents Satan from transforming back into Satan, and he is stuck as a coin for several days or weeks. At which point, Satan gets very frustrated and finally says, okay, fine, man, what do you want? What do you want with me? I don't want to be trapped in your pocket any longer. This sucks. I got souls to collect. And this drunkard named Jack says, oh, I want you to give me 10 more years to live. And Satan says, fine, I'll let you live 10 more years. So the guy gets 10 more years. And Jack causes all sorts of havoc in the countryside of England, being drunk and doing, I don't know, whatever drunk people do, until 10 years roll around. And Satan comes back and he says, hey, it is time to collect. I am here to destroy you. And unfortunately, Jack says, okay, but one more thing. Can I have an apple? I'm really hungry, man. I don't want to go to the underworld on an empty stomach. And Satan is like, you know what? You're clever. You're the most clever guy I've had to deal with in a long time. That's fine. You can have an apple. And he says, oh, but I'm too old to go up into that tree and get it myself. Can you get it, Satan? And Satan says, yeah, sure, I got you, fam. So Satan goes up into the tree. And while Satan is up in the tree, which apparently takes a very long time, this old man, Jack, has several dozen crucifixes in his pocket, and he throws them on the ground at the bottom of the tree so that Satan cannot get off of the tree. Once again, Satan has been trapped by a series of little wooden crosses that are just littered on the ground, and Jack is laughing at him and says, all right, I'll let you out of the tree, but only if you promise to never send me to hell, in the literal sense, the place. And Satan is like, oh my gosh, you're ridiculous. Fine. Yeah, I will never take your soul. You're never going to go to the underworld. You're fine. Are you happy? And to that, Jack says, yes, finally, I will have to go to heaven, that means. Several more years go by, and Jack finally dies of natural causes. Satan doesn't come for him. An angel doesn't come for him. He just kind of dies. And he gets up to the pearly white gates, and he meets St. Peter there, and St. Peter says, ooh, sorry, Jack, you're not on the list. And Jack's like, what the frick are you talking about? I have to be on the list. I'm not going to hell. And Peter's like, well, you're not coming up here either. You're a terrible person. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do for you. So Jack is in limbo. This is the story of the jack-o'-lantern. Jack is in limbo to this day, and there's nothing he can do to get into heaven, and there's nothing he can do to go back to the underworld, because he made a deal with Satan, right? And in exchange for being such a clever guy, Satan says, listen, buddy, I can't take you into the underworld, but you know what I can do? I'm going to give you a turnip, and I'm going to give you a burning coal. And you can take this burning coal, and you can put it inside the turnip, and it'll be a lantern for you to light your way as you wander through the world as a spirit. And he carved a little face into that turnip, and that's the first jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, it wasn't even a pumpkin. Pumpkins were an American thing, so it wasn't until all these Irish people, I think it was the Irish came to America that they brought their tradition of carving faces into turnips, and they converted it into the pumpkin, because pumpkins are honestly a way better canvas for cutting things into. I mean, that is an immaculate face canvas right there, if I've ever seen it. Of course, this does beg the question, okay, so whatever, Jack carves faces into pumpkins, why do the rest of us do it? And the answer is kind of dumb. Apparently, people carve faces into pumpkins as a way of warding off evil spirits, including Jack, because, Jack is a terrible person. But why in heaven's name would Jack care? I don't know, if I were Jack, I'd be like, oh, something carved with a face in it after my tradition and story? Don't mind if I do. I don't know, I think the story is funny and interesting, but the consequence of, oh no, I cracked the pumpkin. Okay, I accidentally swing the remote. This rupee, those 5 rupees will just be the last pumpkin. I think that's the last one. But anyways, that is all the pumpkins in Ordon Village. I think that's all of them. We got the ones over by this house here. We got the ones over here. We got the ones over there. Yeah. So how many pumpkins is that? Let me count that really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's 15 pumpkins. Wow, that's crazy. Exactly 15 pumpkins. A nice round 5 number. So to celebrate, we are going to take all these pumpkins and we're going to do one giant spin attack. Ready, set. Wow, that's awesome. But we can make this explosion even bigger if we wanted to with the power of H2O. If we simply take this H2O and we pour it on one of these pumpkins right here, does that hit? No, I am terrible. As I was saying, if we pour water on these pumpkins, then these little guys will grow into big pumpkins. So technically, we can get beyond 15, and that didn't occur to me until now. So I'm going to now go recollect all of the pumpkins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, cool, that's 15. All right, let's get to pouring. Where is the, Oh, well, that's rather disappointing. You cannot grow more pumpkins until you destroy the pumpkins you already have. Huh. Okay, cool, so I guess that proves it. Today, right here and right now, the maximum amount of pumpkins you can have out at one time in Ordon Village is 15. Because the only way of getting more of them is if you were to break the ones you already have. Weird, but it's okay, I got an idea. To make up for it, I grab this giant beehive and I'm gonna place it right in the middle here as the king of the pumpkins. And we are going to blow up all of these at once with our sword, because I think the sword is slightly more satisfying than using bombs. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Oh, man, I love that. That is great. And oh yeah, let me show you. There we go. The pumpkins can now be grown. So I guess if you wanted more pumpkins in Ordon Village after that, you can get more. Oh, and in this house, there's a couple of pumpkins, but I can't actually get to them from this position. I can get these ones though. These ones I can get, and maybe I can destroy them if I'm really clever here. Yes, I can. I'm gonna destroy all of these pumpkins too. There we go. And that is every single pumpkin you can collect in the village of Ordon in The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Thanks for watching the video, and until I see you next time, have fun storming the castle. Oh, and happy Halloween.
Hey-ya!